advantage here. We'll see how he uses it. Tua with a big left hook, and Rui's in trouble.
Down from Ronnie Seals between rounds.
He's getting hit there.
Stops the fight. A sensational fight.
Lewis want to fight. There you are. That's succeeded in doing in this round is messing up Tua's hair and just landing more punches.
How can one of the hardest punches in heavyweight history terrify an entire division, knock out world-class fighters, earn the respect of the greatest boxers on earth, and still never become heavyweight champion? This isn't just the story of a boxer. It's the story of a kid who carried the hopes of an entire nation and came one punch away from changing boxing forever. Before sold-out arenas, before heavy promoters noticed, coaches noticed, boxing world noticed, there was suddenly one question everyone wanted answered. Could this young man from South Auckland become New Zealand's first heavyweight world champion? Soon, David made the biggest decision of his life. He turned professional. No headgear, no short amateur contest, no second chances. Every punch now carried real consequences. Every opponent wanted to stop the rising star before he reached the top. But they were about to discover something. David Tua wasn't just another heavyweight. He was becoming one of the most dangerous punchers on the planet. When David Tua turned professional in late 1992, the heavyweight division didn't know what was coming. Most young fighters spend years learning how to survive. David Tua was teaching opponents how quickly a fight could end. Every time he stepped into the ring, the atmosphere would lift. Fans been waiting to see if someone would get knocked out. They were waiting to see when. Win after win, David kept moving forward. 5 victories, 10 victories, 15 victories. The streak keeps growing. And so did the fear. By the time he had won 27 straight professional fights with 23 knockouts, one thing had become impossible to ignore. David Tua wasn't just winning. He was dismantling experienced heavyweights. Then came John Ruiz. Ruiz wasn't an unknown prospect. He was a well-respected heavyweight with ambition of his own. Many expected a tough, tactical fight. Instead, David exploded out of the corner. Before the opening round was even over, it was over. Just 19 seconds, one crushing left hook, one unforgettable knockout. It instantly became one of the fastest and most devastating victories of David Tua's career. The rest of the heavyweight division had seen enough. This wasn't just another contender. This was a man who could end the world title fight with a single punch. New Zealand believed, Samoa believed, the boxing world was finally starting to believe. For the first time, people weren't asking if David Tua could fight for the heavyweight championship. They were asking, when? Because waiting on the horizon was a champion unlike any other. A man who had beaten the very best. A man standing between David Tua and boxing immortality. The closer David Tua got, the bigger the dream became. He wasn't just fighting for himself anymore. Every victory, every knockout, every headline made one thing feel possible. New Zealand could have its first heavyweight world champion. By the year 2000, that dream was finally within reach. David had earned his shot. Standing across the ring was the most complete heavyweight in the world, Lennox Lewis, the reigning WBC, IBF and IBO heavyweight champion, Olympic gold medalist, a master technician, a man who had already beaten some of the biggest names in boxing. For David, this wasn't just another fight. It was the opportunity his family had sacrificed for. The opportunity every young boxer dreams about. One victory, and history would belong to him forever. The fight arrived. The lights, the cameras, millions watched around the world. Everything David had worked for had led to this moment. But champions don't become champions by chance. From the opening round, Lewis executed a disciplined game plan. He used reach, footwork, jab. Every time David tried to close his distance, Lewis found a way to create space again. Round after round, David kept coming forward. He never stopped looking for that left hook that had changed so many fights before. But against one of the smartest heavyweights in history, that opening never truly came. After 12 rounds, the final bell rang. The judges awarded Lennox Lewis a unanimous decision. Just like that, the dream was over. Or so everyone thought, because most people believe greatness is measured by championships and belts. David Tua proved sometimes it's measured by something much bigger. Most people think if you don't win the world title, the story is over. For David Tua, it wasn't. Losing to Lewis hurt, not because he had been knocked out, not because he had quit, because the dream he'd chased since he was a boy had slipped away. For many fighters, that defeat would have been the end. David refused to let that define him. He went back to work, back to training, back to doing what he'd done always, fighting, and proving he still belonged among the heavyweight elites. In 2002, he faced former heavyweight world champion Michael Moorer. Many wondered if David still had what it took. They got the answer. He stopped Moorer in the 5th round. The power was still there. The belief was still there. A year later, another former heavyweight world champion stood across the ring. Hasim Rahman. The same Rahman who had shocked the world by knocking out Lennox Lewis in 2001. David defeated him by unanimous decision. Once again, he reminded everyone exactly who he was. But boxing doesn't always reward talent alone. Injuries, time away from the ring, business disputes outside the ropes. The heavyweight decision kept moving, and another world title opportunity never came. Looking back, it's easy to ask, what if? What if David had earned one more title shot? What if the timing had been different? What if one more opportunity had arrived? We'll never know. But maybe those aren't the questions that matter most. Because while the boxing world measured champions by belts, people back home measured David Tua by something else. Hope, pride, and the belief that a kid from South Auckland could stand shoulder to shoulder with the greatest heavyweights on earth. History remembered champions, the bouts, the records, the nights they stood at the top of the world. David Tua never had that moment. He never held the heavyweight champion above his head. For some people, that means he fell short. But maybe that's because they're measuring the wrong thing. Because long after the final bell, long after the crowds went home, David Tua had already achieved something that no championship belt could ever guarantee. He gave people hope. Hope to young boxers growing up in South Auckland. Hope to children across Samoa. Hope to every kid who looked at the biggest stage in the world and wondered if someone like them could ever belong there. David didn't just step into the ring carrying boxing gloves. He carried the dreams of thousands of people who saw themselves in his journey. And every time he refused to back down, they believed a little more. Today, when people speak about the greatest athletes New Zealand has ever produced, David Tua's name is still part of that conversation. Not because history owes him anything, but because respect can't be awarded by judges. It has to be earned, and David Tua earned it. Every round, every sacrifice, every punch. Maybe that's why, even now, when people watch his knockouts, they're not just watching power, they're watching belief, they're watching courage. They're watching a young boy from Samoa who proved he belonged among the giants of the heavyweight boxing world. David Tua never became heavyweight champion, but maybe he became something even harder to be. Unforgettable. What do you think defines greatness? The championships you win, or the lives you inspire?